Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. My name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And today I'm going to share with you week 4 of how we use the Brave Writer Arrow Guide in our home. If you want to see the previous weeks, I have week 1, 2, and 3 in their own separate videos on my channel, so be sure to check those out. Again, if you're looking for Brave Writer Arrow Guides, go check out Julie Bogart on YouTube. Also go to their website, which is bravewriter.com, and you can find a ton of information. But I want to show you how we did week 4. So we've finished the book at this point, and we were just finishing it up this last week. The only thing you're not going to see in this one is the reverse dictation because my son got sick at the end of the week, and so we were not able to do it. So if you want to see reverse dictation, if you'll check out my other 2 videos, they'll show you what that looks like also. So this is what the arrow guide looks like. You get it in a digital format, you print it out, and I always just put it in a folder. And so we're on week 4. I always hand my son, remember he gets his own copy of the copywork. Now he does not recopy it. He does not enjoy copywork, so I just give him this printout, and this is what I work from and teach from as we do the story. The things that you see highlighted are the things that we talked about. You're probably thinking, again, if you haven't watched the other ones, where is she getting the information of what to talk about? Well, I'll definitely show you. So right here, this is what I use. She has some grammar notes where hey, you're going to talk about metaphors. This is what a metaphor is. Point this out to your child. Let them know that metaphors are about comparing. It even gives you the sentence that they use it in. And so if you go back to this, I highlighted this in pink. And so on this paper, I get my son to come in and highlight that in pink. So that's where we talk about metaphors. And then we can go and we can think of other metaphors that we know. We can look them up. We can look in other stories, or when we just use them in conversation. So this is the metaphor. The green is the other thing that we noted, and that's where we talked about superlative adjectives and how it is, we use them to describe adjectives as acts of measurements, like good, better, and best. Or, and this goes on and on to show you, like big, bigger, and biggest, smart, smarter, and smartest. And then the other part I really liked is she even had a part that there's some sneaky words that end in Y, and you have to swap the Y for I before you add on the suffix. So we had a good talk about what suffixes were just to remind my son, and then we were able to look and see if these were sneaky, and so this one was, and you had to change the Y to I, and we even had that when he wrote this week. We even had to go over that because he used a word where you had to change the Y to I. Another thing that we did is we just kind of went over idioms real quick. That was the literary element for the month. We did that a lot in week 3, so I didn't spend a lot of time on it in week 4 because he understood. So we did touch on that. The things that are circled, accusations, sneakiest, assistance, quietest, and explained, were the words that he wanted to learn how to spell. So again, through the week, those words were practiced in many ways. Letter tiles, hangman, he wrote them on the windows with dry erase. I think we even wrote them outside with sidewalk chalk. So those are the ones he practiced, and if we had done reverse dictation, those would have been spelled wrong, and he would have needed to pick up on those and spell them correctly. So that's how we work with this copywork passage for this week. The other thing we talked about this week were the big juicy questions. We still needed to do questions 8 and 9, and so what I really liked about these 2 was number 8 focused on theme, which is a really good thing to talk about when you're reading or when you're watching a movie. So we answered the one about theme. And question 9 was, it talked about how they warned you at the beginning of the story that this was not a book with a happy ending. Do you think that was pretty, it says, was this morning merited? How is the ending happy? How is it unhappy? And it was just a really good conversation starter for my son. We had a really good time talking about it. You could use this as a writing prompt if you want your kids to get in more writing, but we love to use them just to talk to each other. So it was very helpful to have these in here, and I enjoyed the big juicy questions. Now the last thing that you can do, well, before I share the last thing, let me show you this. You're going to see the arrow skill tracker. These are new. These are just now, they've just gotten put in all the the packs, and they come with all the new arrow guides. I went through and with a black pen, I always marked whatever we talked about during the month, just as a record for me. And then I went ahead and in green, I did this yesterday as I was thinking about how the whole arrow guide went. So if it's colored in the check mark, that's something that he gets, and I'm not worried about, making sure I go over it 1,000 more times. The footprints are for learning, so he does have a few of those. We still are iffy on commas. We're iffy on dialogue punctuation. There's just some things he needs to still practice, and that's okay. And I don't have any that I'm saving for later. So this is great to have. You would print these out for each of your children. Now for the very last thing. Now we did not have a book club party school because on his 11th birthday, he chose to have a series of unfortunate events birthday party. So we just took all these great ideas and we had a birthday party. Now I found most of my ideas on Pinterest, but if you get this arrow guide, you get a party school pack. And so it's going to tell you how to have an awful atmosphere. It is going to tell you some crummy crafts and awful activities, which I think is so cute. Just tons of activities, some dull diversions. And then it says, have a horrible time, planners. Without a doubt, this is going to be a bad beginning to your book club year. So this is included in the back of it. So what I'm going to do at the end of this video is I'm going to insert pictures from my son's birthday party. You're going to see the decorations. You're going to see the food. And what I'll try to do is do a voiceover so you'll know what's in there. But what I do want to say right now is if you have any questions about arrow guides, please watch my other videos. This makes the 4th one in the series. So please go back and watch the other ones. And if you still have questions, you can leave them down in the comments below. Or you can go and check out Julie Bogart and Brave Writer yourself. Either way is fine. So please like and share and subscribe and let your friends know about this if they're interested in Brave Writer. And I'm going to go ahead and thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy the pictures.